Yeah, we're here, baby.
We're back.
We're back. This is where we're at.
back.
We were going to talk about Greenland. We were excited about Greenland. Isn't that awesome? We were. Isn't that just a fever dream?
Correct. We were correct on the theme of white on white violence being what we talked about today.
For sure. I mean, this low key, this feels like a picture you'd be like, oh yeah, that's like Ukraine or some shit.
Yeah.
Like, why do these motherfuckers wear plate vests for domestic issues? It's just wild, man. And what I mean, I don't know. I think this segues already just into the video. Like, might as well just get right into it, right? Because there's another camera angle out. Of course, we're talking about Alex Pretti.
Being executed in the street.
Yeah. I mean,
and we still don't even know any of the murderers' names because they're masked ice goons and we don't get to know.
Right. Well, of course, they were just doing their job.
I'm sure Tim Walz sent a lot of very stern letters and offered to beat up a bunch of other protesters with his state forces if they would just kindly give up the names.
Please stop. Please. Just please. Okay. Let's look at
this. Knock it off.
Knock it off. Racism. Knock it off. Oh, that guy's a pedophile. I can't do that fucking song anymore. Cody Co. Anyway, let's watch this. We're not going to watch the whole thing. Viewer discretion. Yeah. It's hard to watch. It's harrowing. Please. If you can't handle this kind of stuff, please don't watch this.
Yeah. Well, we're not going to watch this man actually be executed, but we are going to watch the lead up to it and the fact that he was... I was going to say holding a weapon. He was not holding a weapon. He had a gun on him, on his back, and he was disarmed, and we will watch that prior to him being executed.
Yep. Yeah, so, I mean, you don't even need the YouTube red circle. He's grabbing his gun, taking it out of its holster. And we have a picture, which I don't know if I have that pulled up, but I can pull it up, of the ICE agent, the man in gray, the ICE agent, the pig, the bastard, walking away holding Alex Pretti's weapon that he was holstering. And again, holstering, not armed, wasn't holding it, wasn't aiming it at anybody, holstering the weapon.
Grabbing it. And there we go.
There we go. Again, maybe we needed a YouTube red circle for this one, for some of the Republicans out there. But this man is on the ground. He has no weapon anymore. There are two grown men on him, detaining him.
And there's more off
and there's
screen.
More.
Like he's currently getting pistol whipped in the head.
And this man's reaching for his weapon. Why? Well, you know why. We don't need to watch the rest of it. But I mean, I would love for someone to tell me the justification for this. Because, I mean, if we did continue, he's literally on his hands and knees and then is shot 11 times. So what does that mean? Right? What does that entail? Was that just not complying? I would really love to know.
Yeah, it's like the idea that like you could be seen as violently resisting arrest or being a threat when you have, like, what is it, 8 guys on you. You're on your hands and knees. So it's like, even if he was trying to reach for his gun, he couldn't have done anything.
No.
And then I shot him. What I saw was 9 times, like, into his already dead body. They actually let medical personnel come on scene on this one because they knew it didn't matter. He was pronounced dead at the scene. Like, it's just truly horrible. And it's not even 3 weeks from Renee Good. Like,
yeah. And it's like, what can you even say at this point? I mean, we're watching an execution. I mean, just it calls back to the picture, right? This is what that is. Like, come on. Are you fucking joking? I saw someone, because I get, there's mass protests in Minneapolis. Kids aren't going to school. People aren't going to work, rightfully.
It's like a natural disaster.
Yeah.
The city is shut down.
But people were saying, it was just a comment, but he's like, fire all those people and put all those kids in summer school. And it's like, how are you going to act like you're a good person? Like, how could you sit there and say this shit, justify this, and still act like you're a Christian or you're a good person? Like, these people are legitimately brainwashed to believe the most evil shit is righteous. What is righteous about this?
It is insane that there's any amount of people that like are backing ICE on this, or they think, oh, they are only going for, like, they're only trying to arrest like violent criminals who are here illegally, and it's just like, and you just watch this.
And I got the talking point that a lot of people that talk about this are bots or whatever, but like you can probably go on Fox News and see the same shit. And also, I think that it's true, but it's also reductive because there are people that believe that this is okay, and not an insignificant amount. So, what do you say to those people? What wakes them up? Nothing, right? Unless it happens to them, right?
Yeah, that'll be the worst thing. I mean, something I take some solace in, to inject the slightest bit of positivity even, and I mean, this is stuff that Nads was saying to me, is that, I mean, you see the response from the citizens of Minneapolis. It's overwhelmingly against. There's no, like, who was that idiot who showed up to counter protest with him and his group of like 10 guys?
Oh, Jake, whatever.
That is how unpopular their position is with Americans, genuinely.
Dude, he got nephew by that guy. The guy was fucking got his ass.
I mean, and like the goons have joined ICE. They literally just are ICE. That's the except. But obviously, this is basically a foreign army occupying the state. It's not. Some of the people are from the state that are being deployed, but it's very much outside agitators.
And either way, who gives a shit?
And no one's showing up. Yeah, no one's showing up. So like, the overwhelmingly popular position is anti-ICE. Absolutely.
Yeah. No, I think it is. I do think
the people who are like still supporting this, most of them are not watching the news, right? Or at least not like the news like we're seeing. They're not seeing the facts. They're not watching this. Like, there are some people that are going to watch this video and be like, look how much he was resisting, just comply, bro. Like, that shit, there is that out there. But a lot of people are just like, la 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 la, I don't want illegals here. I don't want brown people here.
I have a friend
that's all.
Sorry, their parents like have Fox News on like 24/7, and they're saying that they don't talk about ICE raids at all. Like, they're still talking about trans shit. Like legit, like that's what they're worried about. So then,
it's
the average Fox News viewer is like, well, you know, ICE is happening, but have you heard about women with penises? It's like, dude, are you literally kill yourself? I don't know what to tell you. So apparently, they really are just in La La Land.
They are, and it's something that we've heard coming out of the administration is that they are frustrated with how they're unable to control the narrative to an extent because the videos are just coming out. That's why they're so obsessed with stopping people from filming it themselves. Because what they want to do, and what is very much a part of, you can watch a lot of Laura Lorenz videos.
Taylor Lorenz?
Taylor Lorenz. Jesus Christ, cut that. I
thought you were saying Laura Loomer.
You can watch a lot of Taylor Lorenz videos where she talks about how the admin is like the TikTok administration, where they all have marching orders to like create content, and you can see it in who's the Gestapo guy walking around in his Nazi jacket? Who's that guy?
Bovino.
The content he creates, they're trying to make him look like Dog the Bounty Hunter walking around creating law and order. Like, they're literally trying to create like that kind of content you see on TV, that like sloppy like border control content, the like TSA, you know what I'm talking about? Those kind of sloppy TV shows. That's the kind of content they want to create to create this narrative of grabbing all these illegal criminals. But instead, they're just getting unsolicited videos of all this violence that makes them look horrible.
Yeah, because the people are resisting, and that's one way that they can actually show the truth. And like, it's been amazing to see like how many people are showing up and how many people are resisting this, where they can't ignore it. Because that's the thing, right, is we're talking about people who aren't opposing this, like, they're just ignoring it.
Yeah.
And you can't be in Minneapolis and ignore this. So, and it's one of the things that's like actually makes me feel a little bit hopeful is that, like, in times of, like, extremes like this, it's people don't really give a shit about, like, trans issues. And I'm like, okay, like, I obviously still care about trans issues and I care about, like, queer rights and stuff.
Clip
But
that. Dance doesn't care about trans issues.
but it's a thing I've been thinking about a lot this week. This idea that, like, countries that are destabilized don't get to have progressive policies because all they get to do is survive. And that's kind of what's happening in the US right now, where, like, people don't get to, care about anything other than affordability and literally keeping ICE out of their cities. That's the only thing that they get to, like, care about right now, because that is, like, their literal, like, staying alive part of their life. And that becomes the only thing you vote on, and that becomes the only thing that you care about. So it actually distracts from the rest of the right-wing rhetoric, and people are going to take the Republicans out if they don't do something about this ICE issue, and if they don't do something about the affordability crisis.
Yeah. And I think that's why people, even in New York, like, Zoran was such a big, like, just a blow up candidate, essentially. Like, he has those progressive policies, but he didn't really talk about trans issues. He didn't really talk about queer issues, because what matters right now is people are fucking broke. People are starving. They're not having their needs be met. Like, of course, I'm also a queer ally, but you know what I'm worried about? Like, my $3,000 rent. Like, I'm not just an ally. I'm also fucking queer. I said that, like, really weird, but, like,
call yourself an
queer
ally.
ally.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Like, obviously, I guess that's a. But you know what I meant. Whatever. But, like,
cut it all.
I mean, there are queer people who aren't allies, so it's.
You know what? True.
It's true.
Right?
Honestly, based.
Yeah, I used to know a person that was like, I'm gay, but I'm not in the LGBTQ community, and I'm like, okay, cool, good for you. Like, you still are. When the wolves come for you, they're not gonna decipher you from the other sheep. But I forgot what the fuck we were gonna say. Oh yeah, like I like
energy.
I'm like, yeah, call me a faggot, dude. I don't care, as long as you want to not like ICE. Like, we're good. Like, it's funny how quickly, like, a couple years ago, how much of an SJW I felt, and now I'm just like, it doesn't even matter. Like, right now we need to not have people be executed, and, like, dude, ICE was like 2 miles from me yesterday. Like, on the neighbor app or whatever, people will call it out where I'm at, which, I mean, I don't know if I even want to. Well, whatever. It's fine. So it's terrifying, and it's hard to care about anything when I have the Gestapo outside my door, and also, food. Dude, this is such a dumb, like, example. I got Panda Express family meal 2 weeks ago. Okay. Panda Express family meal, $36. You know what Panda Express family meal was today? $43. That's like a 20% increase. Like, yippee. I'm worried about Panda Express family meal, dude.
Yeah, and it's like, I want to be clear, like, this is not it's not like a good thing that we are thinking about this. Like, I had said that kind of in the hope that, like, the Republicans might be, ushered out of office because of this. But problem too is that we don't have a lot of Democrats that are offering real solutions to these things.
Oh no, Democrats are still being like, they don't like gay people and Palestine, identity politics. Hey,
yeah,
they don't like your own citizens here, so let's not be killed here. Let's say something, Chuck. Anybody? Yeah. For the love of God.
No, they're on it, man. They're gonna block that funding bill for real for, I don't know, a week, and then 7 Democrats will cut a deal, and Chuck Schumer will be like, shucks, they got us this time, boys.
Don't worry, I'll wag my finger really hard. Well, guys, wait, no, hold on. We're forgetting something. There's a simple solution to getting these ICE agents out of Minneapolis. Our good friend Pamela Bondi. I don't know if her full name's Pamela, actually. Let me pull this up on the recording.
Yeah, so
in a Newsweek article by Marnie Rose McFall, which, thank you, Marnie. We love you. I don't know. I mean, maybe we do. I don't know. So after the killing of both Oh, they were both 37. Interesting.
Yeah.
Of Renee Good and Alex Pretti, obviously there have been some calls to get ICE the fuck out of Minnesota or Minneapolis. And Pam Bondi has made a few requests of the state. Okay. Which, first off, I don't even want to like entertain some quid pro quo bullshit. Like, you're killing citizens. So now you're like, well, if you do this for me, maybe it's already the stipulation for this deal is fucking ridiculous. She should be wanting to get people out of there no matter what.
It's the U.S. It's the country. You're the government. You're not the mafia. This isn't a protection racket.
Hey,
it's like
what? It's insane.
Okay, well,
is this not the "we don't negotiate with terrorists" thing? Isn't this exactly what it is? Like, this is just the like, we'll keep fucking killing people and creating terror unless you do exactly what we say.
Well, they're not brown,
Tim Walz
so
was
how can they be
hard.
terrorists?
If Tim Walz was hard, he would just say that. That would be his response.
Oh, trust me,
but
Tim Walz is hard.
He isn't.
All right. So
I mean, he was willing to call it lies. He was willing to say the L word live on air. And these allegations are blown out of proportion. This is an inaccurate reporting of the events. He called it lies. So,
wow,
wild Democrat W. I mean, he called it lies, and
he's
then
a man.
And then he sent the state patrol to go beat up his own citizens for being mad about being killed.
Well, you know what? Sometimes your own citizens need to be beat up. Have you ever fucking thought of that? All right.
Yeah.
So Bondi set a list of 3 demands, not even one, okay? Including that the Department of Justice should be given the state's voter registration records, which, by the way, insane, right? Is that not crazy? I mean, like that's just illegal, right? Like I feel like I'm trying not to speak out of turn because I should know, I guess, but I think that's illegal as fuck.
From my understanding, elections are all state operations. Like the Fed literally has nothing to do with them. Yep. The state conducts the entire operation and then sends what the voting results to the Fed, and that's how you determine the federal government. So they have zero right to ask for their voter registration records. There are only bad things that will be done with that. Yeah,
so that was my understanding too, is that it's all very like state regulated, and that this isn't the first time the Trump administration has tried to get voter records, and there's a lot of issues that come from demanding that from states because every state has different laws, so you're likely to break state laws if you give this information to the federal government. And also, my understanding is that it would become publicly available if the federal government got it also, but that might be disputable. But it's all ridiculous. And I heard this and I was like, why? That was like my first question is like, obviously there's a nefarious reason for this, but like it didn't come to my head immediately. But like there's like multiple things. It seems like one might be that they're again trying to like kind of put this idea that like democracy isn't really real into Americans' heads, so that they can like try to like dispute numbers. They can try to be like, oh, elections aren't real, we shouldn't have them, is part of it. And also just like my understanding is that they think they're gonna find people who are in the country illegally or like don't have citizenship that are voting. They think they're going to find that in blue states.
Like for me, I wouldn't even want to give any legitimacy to the statement that they have any genuine intent, anything good that they want to do with that information. Like it is literally just to,
well, of course,
put more information about where Democratic voters live into their database to know who to declare a domestic terrorist and send ICE after.
And again, they know who they're attacking, right? It's one of the biggest blue strongholds of literally in the United States. So it's blatant, right? And regardless, even if they're not going to go door knocking to these people's that voted for Kamala or whatever, voted blue, it's still an insane fucking precedent to even ask.
Yeah.
Right?
And I mean, like, all they have to do
especially because people are just asking, stop killing us, dude. Get your fucking agents out of here. That's it. It's not like we're like, what? There's no demand. You're demanding like hella illegal stuff because you are killing people. I don't get it. Like I'm saying the words, but it feels like it's Bizarro Town. Like, you know what I mean? How are you
It is.
It's
Literally.
Nazis.
It's literally the kind of deal that the villain offers the protagonist at the end of the second act.
Yeah.
That precipitates the fall. Like it's just textbook villainy. Do these things, or we will continue killing you.
Mm-hmm.
Minneapolis low-key has been the protagonist.
Oh, it has.
It really has been.
And not even just now. I mean, like, for a while, like years, it's been kind of the center of attention. Okay.
Okay, but also I've just read in the article a 3,200%
hold on, we're not there yet.
Vehicular attacks.
Yeah,
we're not there.
We haven't even gotten
to the second part, man.
Okay.
Okay. So that the state repeal the sanctuary policies, which, if you don't know what a sanctuary policy is, essentially, it's a city where people that are undocumented essentially aren't allowed to be deported out of. It has very strong rules against deportation. Essentially, I mean that's a very surface level understanding of a sanctuary town.
Yeah, I thought it was more so. It's not that like you can't be deported.
You can. It's just harder.
Like if you're going through the legal process, yeah. And I think it's the reason it's harder is because they don't explicitly cooperate with the DHS.
Yep.
And they refuse to do so. They refuse to just directly cooperate with them. So it's not nearly as easy for them to find random people. So
I mean that's obvious why they want that repealed. That's always been a thing. California has plenty of sanctuary cities. I know people always talk about that shit, getting them repealed and how awful they are. They have some good food. Okay. So, and share its records on Medicaid. I mean, and food and nutrition services program. I'm not sure what that would even do. That just feels data. Like that's just intrusive.
It's just more feed, more data into Grok.
I bet, yes, absolutely that. And it's disproportionately going to affect like lower income people as well as like black and brown people because
Medicaid.
Of and also all of these will, like we were talking about how like we were just talking about all of these like policies and just like that people are just like fighting to stay alive, and that like there's a affordability crisis as well as like ICE destroying cities, and that like I just want to say that like disproportionately affects people who are already marginalized as well. Like obviously black and brown people are being targeted, but all of this affects those people more, and these demands that they're making are going to also affect marginalized people more. Like the federal government being what it is now, having more information on people like just leads to more discrimination. And I would bet you that they're going to look at that those programs and look at those records and try to find any examples of people misusing it and try to show, oh, there's a person that's like getting federal funded aid that is in this country and doesn't have legal status, and they're going to target those people, and then they're going to use that to cut these programs. And again, that's going to harm marginalized people at a higher rate.
They're just finding the fraud. They're just finding the fraud, brother.
Yeah.
Republicans are expert on bean soup theory. Oh man, this program helps thousands of people. Oh man, one guy put some salt on his beans one time. And the entire program.
It's like welfare queen type shit too, which is like an inherently racist term. I will say it's the idea that like people are abusing welfare, and that the vast majority of people who have any sort of like receive any sort of aid are like they're just using it to survive.
Also,
like, they're hardworking people. Like
not even to use the term derogatorily, because I'd agree with you, but the biggest welfare queens are white Americans, which is just not talked about. So whatever. It's all survival. And then of course they're already talking about the Somali fraud. So that what are they going to try to use that for? Of course, that's all it is. It's just a justification for imprisoning black and brown people, doing whatever you want with them.
Yep. So that you can also put them in prison, and then you can have slaves.
Private prison. Private prisons.
Private prison industry.
Exactly.
The Attorney General said that there had been a 1,300% increase in violence against ICE officers. Yeah, probably because there's a 1,300% increase in ICE officers. the fuck?
You wanted to just say 13 because it's so crazy to have a percent increase in the thousands.
Thousands, yeah.
Yeah.
That's insane.
1,300. Yeah, just making it just Trump numbers. Just make them up. Who fucking cares?
A
Like
3,200% increase in
the
vehicular
average
attacks
Trump
against
supporter
federal-
can't count anything more than the digits that they have.
They just know that it's
Also-
that's the amount of money they
That's
make
big
every
number.
month. So they're like,
Yeah.
that's big.
Mhm.
It's also one of those things where like you see like it's one of like if you have more officers and you deploy more officers, you're going to have more interaction.
Well,
So
that's
it's like
literally-
if you
that's
have
literally what I
a
said, like-
10,000% increase number of ICE officers on the street, you're going to have an increase in
violence,
actions
no
against
matter
them.
what.
Like,
Yeah.
especially because these people are like they're trying to like wasn't it there was a judge that found that like ICE agents were like brake checking people and were driving erratically and trying to get people to like engage with them so that they would have justification to make like arrests and detain people or say that they're getting in their way of their operations, because that's the only way that they're allowed to detain US citizens is if they're like in the way of their operations, which is also super vague. It should not be what the rules are, but even under that they have to like force people's hands to like get anything. Like they're trying to make it so that they can claim that videotaping them is getting in the way of their operations.
Yeah, they want that to be normalized.
Whew.
I mean, it comes back to what maybe the fundamental theme of what's going on is happening is that the rule of law is dead. We're at the two-tiered law system that is signature of fascist systems. Rules for thee, not for me.
Well, it's just funny too how the people who are have most in common with not for thee will suck off the people that are stepping on them, right? Like it's so disgusting. Just comply. Dude, if you were in that situation and you were just standing up and you got gunned down, or that was your brother, or that was whatever, like just in a random situation, would you still have the same attitude? No, but these people are so fucking stupid and they have such a lack of empathy that only when it happens to them will they actually truly get it, right? And it sucks because I don't want that to happen to them. You know, no matter what, I want what's good for them. I'll fucking force it on them. I don't give a shit. But like at the same time, when are you gonna get it, dude?
Yeah, I mean it's the Charlie Kirk leftist position where I'm not gonna mourn him. He died in the world he wanted to live in, but I still don't want to live in that world where people get gunned down. Therefore, I didn't want it to happen to him.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. It's like it's so infuriating to even try to have these discussions because like all of this is just so they're operating outside of the law. Like they're just like they're getting like you said like it's rules for I'm blank.
Rules for thee, not for me.
Rules for thee, not for me. Like the idea that like they can gun somebody down because they're like resisting arrest, but like there was a recent like whistleblower story about saying that like ICE agents are trying to like have been told that in a memo that they should enter homes illegally and that they don't need their warrants and they should just go in because they know that they won't be held accountable. Which like I think we need to talk about like the black and brown people who are being victimized by this, but that is why it is important to talk about people like Alex Pretti and Renee Good, because we know that the average white person in America is not going to relate to the man who died by strangulation, ruled a homicide in ICE custody. But like they're going to see their neighbor, their nephew, their brother, and Alex Pretti. And that's why we need to highlight these stories. But we also do need to talk about that 31 people died in ICE custody in 2025, which is 3 times the year prior.
Yeah. No, yeah. I mean, obviously, and I think the noise is so loud with not even just these executions, but also just everything that's going on that it's easy to miss Brown Death, and especially because of how normalized it's been made in the West, or I don't know, I guess just in general. Like it's like, oh
Everywhere.
yeah, I mean, you know, it it's heartbreaking because
Mhm.
there is no difference in life. Like no matter what the fuck you say, I think that's like the main leftist position, right? It's like it doesn't matter your money, doesn't matter your social status, doesn't matter who you are. Like a life is a life. Regardless of how I talk about like a fucking ICE agent. I mean those are demons. But normal people, life is a life.
Mhm.
So you don't want there is no difference between Renee Good and the man who was strangled. But unfortunately, you have to kind of play into what society at large feels. And society at large feels, damn, a white woman? That's crazy. And
Yep.
even I
Which
feel
is-
that because I'm a part of the society. So it is wild to see. And it sucks that I feel that way because I mean, I'm a brown person. So I do see myself in a lot of these people. And it's it's really difficult to like contextualize the difference because it's not that I don't feel for brown and black people, but again, it's just so normalized where I'm like, it hurts, but at the same time, I'm like, damn, it's another thing. Like, and that's not how it should be. I should not be so shocked. Like the violence should shock me no matter what, I guess. And the fact that this is so rattling is concerning. Okay, I fucked up and stopped the recording instead of stopping the screen recording. So we missed a bunch of
podcasters now.
We're real podcasters now. We missed a bunch of delicious content talking about intersectionality, and race and violence, but
empathy.
we're in empathy. But we're gonna try to. Nad said maybe we can get into the zone with what she'll put down. So let's.
Was it when we were talking about? Go ahead.
So one thing that we kind of touched on really briefly was that, like the 5-year-old child Liam Ramos, who was like used as bait basically to detain his father, and something I think that with that, which is awful, I want to say, and also like they were claiming asylum and they had followed all the legal processes to do so. They should not be in ICE custody. They are not flight risks. They are like doing absolutely everything that they should be, just to be clear. But I think something and why that image is being used so much is because, like, first of all, children. I think we all like have that inherent like this is a child and they need protection. But even just his little hat and his Spider-Man backpack. I think even though you don't know that kid necessarily, like obviously there are people in Minnesota who know that kid, but like I think we all have met a little 5-year-old who's obsessed with Spider-Man, and like that pulls on the heartstring. That like that gives you connection to him and to that family, and you go, what an innocent child. He reminds me of my nephew.
I literally was. I'm holding up to the camera. You can't see it. It's my old Game Boy Advance with the Spider-Man 3 sticker on it, which I was talking about earlier. Because that literally was that little brown boy that loved Spider-Man. So that little kid, like, dude, like, yeah, 100%. And regardless, yeah, I think it's an evocative image, and I think it's one of the few things that can provoke these even like the most hardened person's empathy, because it's just it's just a cute kid. That's sad.
And he didn't choose to come to this country. And again, I want to be very clear that his family is doing everything correctly. Not that I think that people should be criminalized for not doing it correctly, but like they are literally doing everything that they need to be doing to claim asylum and should not be in that situation. But like even like it pulls on your heartstrings. It's just that image.
But I think, and just to connect this back to the last point and then kind of what we were talking about, it still sucks because I feel like even with that image of that kid, what's still more I mean, obviously it's still more rattling that these people died, the white people, right? Regardless of like abusing this child's humanity to capture his father, like it's still, again, the violence against white people that really rattles us. It's crazy. I mean, obviously that picture rattled us in this call, but us as in the greater like United States or the Western world, like it's really sad, and it harkens back to you see brothers or siblings carrying their siblings in body bags in Gaza, and these fucking horrifying images of families like looking through rubble just to find pieces of their children, and not even that's humanizing enough for a lot of Americans to start empathizing with Palestinians. So what's the level? Does it have to be your neighbor, right? Or does it have to be someone who looks like you? Like what's the point that you're gonna start understanding like we're fucked, or like this is fucked, right?
Yeah.
And I think that intersectionality, like not intersectionality, but that like lack of empathy is so dangerous, not just for like society, but like for those people. Like if they come, I'm not articulating this well, but it's like that could have been you know what I mean? Like beyond the empathy point, like you're just being irrational, I feel like. Or like you're ignoring
it is very irrational.
It's you're being willfully ignorant for no reason. I think you're not serving yourself at all. So I don't get it. That's why it's like, dude, if you're so conservative, like you have to be evil or just really dumb. Like I don't.
Evil
it's
and
really
stupid.
It's hard for me. That's like I guess that's how I cope with it, and hearing how these people talk about these deaths and these kids that fucking I guess deserved it in their point of view. That's how I cope with it. I have to believe they're evil because there's no other way that I can understand someone justifying these atrocities, right? So when someone says they should have just complied, or that those kids were going to grow up to be terrorists anyway, it's like where's your humanity, right?
Well, to say so, back to Gaza. There was a lot of starvation there. There is. Right? They were blocking food. They were blocking aid. They were blocking health care coming in, and there was a New York. I don't think it was New York Times. Actually, I should double check this, but there was an article that was out being like, actually, all these like kids you're seeing that are like skin and bone actually have other diseases, or like have different like medical problems, and that's why they're dying first. And it's like, also, Anne Frank wasn't killed by Nazis, in quotes. Everybody knows she died as a result of the Nazis. She died of typhus. It's the exact same thing.
Did they really just pull the American health insurance? They're like, you had pre-existing conditions?
Literally, like, they were like, all of these kids that you're seeing have pre-existing health conditions. And like, that's the framework that they're trying to do. Even though when we're like, that's still genocide. That's still murdering people. Like, if you are not letting sick kids get medicine and food and they die, that is still blood on Israel's hands. That is still blood on Americans' hands. Like,
it's like I think I said before, it's like babies starving themselves. Like, it's ridiculous. It's like, but it works for the people who just have a surface level understanding, because like, oh yeah, okay, I guess they did. Like they'll just read that because apparently Huffington Post or whoever posted that, probably not Huffington Post, Washington Post, is an authority figure, right, to them. And one of the, this is such a tangent, I feel like one of the biggest signs of lack of intelligence is like prescribing to authority, like completely. Like a lot of the shit, and even though they talk about how they're lions and they never will, like they kiss the boot every time they get the chance, right? And it's because they're like, well, I feel like this is true and it's not, because like at the same time they don't believe in science. So I guess it's just whatever we like we'll believe, right? I'm like trying to justify this, but I always remember that it's always just whatever fits my narrative is what is true. Which I think is why it breaks my brain. And I really like to try to understand something, and you just like can't understand a conservative brain. It's not logical.
Yeah, it doesn't. You can't convince someone out of a position that they didn't logic themselves into.
No, that's why they got big ass amygdalas. Always sad all the time, mad.
I think that an important thing to build off of that is that it's why language is so important in the way they report about Gaza and the way they report about these shootings. Like you will see very headlines that imply very different things, all the way from like armed leftists violently approaches innocent sweet baby ICE agents that were just doing their jobs.
Palestinian children stand in front of IDF soldiers to protect them from Hamas bullets.
Yeah, versus even like a more hypothetically neutral headline that even just says like ICE agent shoot armed man, and it's like, yeah, he was technically armed, but like that has the implication that there was like a shootout, or that he was brandishing his gun or threatening violence,
or even calling it what's going on in Gaza a war.
Yeah, it's usually just calling it war, or like the Israel-Palestine conflict, like it's a two-sided conflict.
And I think people don't like really think about language a lot.
Oh, they don't. No, the vast majority do not.
But it really does play a lot into your like subconscious, right? Like you're reading it, you're like, oh, war, and then that already plays into like there's guilt on both sides, and it's like, I mean, maybe I don't even want to justify that, because it's like, yeah, I'm sure Hamas did some fucked up shit, but it's like the amount of stuff Israel did is just not even like remotely close. So it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's
a moot point.
The news article headline is the most important, the most powerful transmission of information on the planet. It's how most people form their views. It's how people like that who you're talking about, Diego, form their views. Because I've worked with so many of them. I watch them just stare at their boxes of death all lunch break, and the way they form opinions is that they just watch whatever their algorithm is feeding them. And they just read the headline and will just, I don't know, there's something in their brain that doesn't perceive. This is something interesting to think about. I'm curious if there's research, but like, because it's your phone, like because it's yours and you pull it up and you read news on it, you read information, something about, because it's your phone, or even like your TV that the news is on, something in your brain is like, I can't be wrong about these things. There can't be more to a situation. It's just, they don't perceive it as someone else telling them something, because it's their phone that just has information on it, so it couldn't be wrong. Does that make any sense?
Yeah, no, I do get what you're saying, but like putting myself, 100%. But like trying to put myself into that mindset is like impossible, because it feels stupid. Like it just feels dumb as hell. Like, is there no? I guess there's no curiosity, or maybe there's not even an inkling that they need to be curious, because it's already been satisfied by the article headline.
Yeah, media literacy is dead, unfortunately, and I think a lot of people are getting their news from like content and from TikTok more. And though I think in some ways that is really good, like we get the footage to know that, like, we, instead of just listening to Bovino's and Christy Nome's assessment of what happened to Alex Pretti, instead we can watch the footage and go, no, fuck you. He was executed in the street. No, he was not armed. That's another, like, another word where it's like that wording of saying he's armed is like so like disingenuous to what happened, even though technically it's true. Instead we can watch it, and like I think that the reason that the genocide in Gaza is getting so much attention now, as opposed to like, even though this has been happening for 80 years, is because of TikTok, because we can see on the ground footage of what's happening, which is great. But the problem is that somebody just like yapping on their phone, and I say this as I yap to my friends on a podcast that we're going to upload. It's different. It's a PC. But it's the only source of news they get. And it's like, I find it difficult, because I know that a lot of our traditional media sources are so biased. So I think it's good to get alternative perspectives, but I think you can't just listen to somebody's opinion and be like, that was news. You know, it's really tough, especially since algorithms just end up like feeding you the same stuff, and like that's how you end up down like the right-wing pipeline. Like it's a tough balance where like you need to make sure you're like fact checking the information that you're getting on social media, because it isn't substantiated in the same way as actual traditional media, but they are also biased. So it's like, ew, it's so tough.
Yeah, it's something I've often struggled to kind of mediate in my mind because of a frequent right-wing talking point. Not that I really take right-wing talking points that seriously, because it's whatever is convenient for them in the moment. Donald Trump tweeted, "Take all the guns away," like yesterday. So much for the Second Amendment. But the concept of like criticize everything is like hypothetically something I would also subscribe to. But the problem is the arrogant conspiratorial mindset of a right wing ideologically aligned person takes that as no one else could be right except for me. Conservatives here criticize everything and they intake trust no one except for me, and then therefore the only information they trust is stuff that already agrees with what they think and whatever makes them feel good, regardless of the rationality or truth or the basis in reality. Like right wing, the one fundamental belief that right wingers do have that is always true is they don't care about reality. It's fundamentally more emotional is how they make their decision. It's not about reality. So I feel like as a exactly. I feel as a leftist, I feel like more what I would maybe how I tweak the understanding is always be curious about why something might be true. Don't assume an authority figure knows nothing because I
think that's a
trust
good
my
way to-
doctor.
yeah.
It's something I talked I remember when I talked about guys about COVID back in the day, because again, I talked to a lot of guys who subscribe to a lot of conspiracy theories, and what I would try to say to them is, okay, man, if you can't wake up tomorrow and you can't breathe, where are you going to go? You're going to go to the hospital, buddy. You're not going to go on Facebook. You're going to go to the hospital. Once your life's actually on the line, you're going to the hospital. If you went to the hospital now,
Okay,
and they told you, are you gonna take
a guy
the
like
COVID
me
vaccine?
would do horse tranquilizer, though. Let's be real.
Yeah.
Go on.
Yeah. So always be curious, but don't other people are going to know more than you. That's the reality of life. Like
I think that's a good point.
The arrogance is supreme.
Because I didn't fully prescribe to what I was saying, because it's like you should listen to authorities that like do know better. Like there are people that know better, but then there's also like you're listening to like Stephen Miller. Like you shouldn't listen to fucking Stephen Miller. You know what I mean? That guy doesn't fucking know better.
I think the problem is with an administration like Trump's is that these people do have authority, but not, and they have they have authority positions, but they haven't earned those through the previous work they've done or the knowledge that they have. He's just like, bing bang boom. I'm gonna put my best friend in this role, and exactly. And I think that's one of the issues. Whereas and people kind of treat that same, they treat Stephen Miller is the same thing as a doctor who specializes in this field. It's like, no, Stephen Miller is just some dumbass who somehow wasn't a school shooter.
He's just bald.
Yeah.
That's all he is, just fucking bald, and he's like, I want Lex Luthor on my cabinet. I want Lex Luthor. And Jonathan Greenblatt said no, so I took the next best person. Yeah. No, it's fantastic.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
No, I was just going to keep complaining. What were we going to say?
Do we want to talk about the Democrat response, both on the federal and state level to the shooting?
I still did kind of want to talk about prevailing, I guess, well, because I don't think it got picked up, right? Like prevailing whiteness, and
okay, yeah, let's talk about that.
Just because we did talk about Greta Thunberg and how she is able to use her privilege as a white woman in a really big ways to shine light on issues that maybe normally wouldn't get the attention, right? So when she got she was taken into IDF custody in Gaza, that brought a lot of attention to how not only the plight of Gazans, but also how journalists and humanitarians are being treated out there. So that was good. But there is the aspect of why does it take this kind of person to bring light to it when there's been so many people killed and lives upended by the IDF before that have been documented and are out there and have been talked about extensively. Why did it take a white woman for that so people to now see the inhumanity of the IDF? Not everyone did, of course, and a lot of people didn't. Of Zionists, I'm sure, still don't give a shit. But for the people whose mind it did change, Like, why is that the extent? Why is it the extent that people with ICE are now upset over these white people being being killed when, you know, Omar Kilmar Abrego not killed, but, you know, was taking a C cot? Why was there no fucking uproar over that for these liberal wine moms? It's an odd dynamic where I am happy people are waking up. I'm happy people are now starting to fight. But why did it take this? And of course, we already know whiteness has a huge institutional backing in America. Its power is not insubstantial. In fact, it's almost priceless. You get a lot of it's privilege, right? So
Yeah.
it is shocking, and even to a person like me, to see a white person die. And I think I did kind of complete that thought in the recording before, but it is kind of frustrating to see people being like, oh, I just can't accept it now. And what does it take for a person to see the humanity in someone? Right.
Yeah. I absolutely got that too. With Greta Thunberg. I think she did an excellent job and tried to very much not make it about herself, while recognizing that she is going to bring a lot of attention to this because she is a white woman from Europe. And I think she did a good job. I'll add the caveat that I'm saying that as a white woman as well. But
I said that as a brown guy. That was a good job.
Yeah, but I remember when the flotilla was going, checking in with myself and being like, why are you feeling this so much stronger than you're feeling the deaths of Gazan children? Why is this pulling at your heartstrings more? And I was even watching the Greenland stuff with Trump at a lot this week, because if NATO implodes, that affects me.
Yeah.
That, as a Canadian, I really don't want America to invade Greenland, because we are surrounded on 3 borders then, and it's way more likely that something is going to happen between Canada and US if he disrupts NATO and if he takes over Greenland. And me, selfishly, that stressed me out this week. Yeah, exactly. I really hope we get annexed and I don't get a vote. And, and I have to flee the country.
No, it'd be cool. Come on, we can be friends.
Yeah. But, that hit me hard this week, because it's about me. Even though, it was obviously really bad when they did the exact thing that I was scared would happen to Canada to Venezuela, but probably more brutally. They weren't about to go take Carney into custody and steal all of our revenue. But it's just that idea, seeing that, oh, this could affect me. It hit me harder this week. Absolutely. As much as I like to think that I practice empathy and I care about Black and brown people, it hits harder when it's something close to you.
I agree. I 100% agree. The thing is, you were still talking about and advocating for people before that. Of course it hits harder because it affects you. That, of course, no, we're human beings, of course. But for you to only start seeing the humanity once it starts happening to you is crazy. That's to be more worried about it, or to be scared, or to be more involved when it's happening to you. Sure, yeah, 100%. But to now be like, oh, maybe ICE is bad. Maybe now ICE is bad. It's like, oh, it took this, not the fucking hundreds of people in custody, the dozens of people dead before that. It took this. Okay.
Yeah. It's just depressing.
And this isn't to be like, it's okay, Nats, because I genuinely obviously if it's affecting you, of course, but you still saw the humanity of people. That's the thing. I don't think suddenly gaining empathy because something happened to someone that looks like you is I don't think that's cool.
Yeah, it's just frustrating. I imagine what you're expressing is it's frustrating to stand in the tent and know you now have to share the tent with people who didn't care until it happened to them.
Because if I got killed, they wouldn't give a shit.
To that. Yeah, yeah. There's a degree of resistance to that. Like these people aren't really empathetic towards you. It's because now it's happening to them, and it's polite version of enemy of my enemy is my friend at this point. Because like, you didn't give a shit. Yeah, as the liberals say, if Kamala won, they would have been at brunch.
But then there's also that guy that's now volunteering and picking people up outside of detention centers and stuff. So then there's that too, where like. I guess this whole thing, you can't generalize, right? It's hard, and you have to understand where people are coming from, and not everyone is super informed. I guess it's tough.
You can focus on the good of it, which is that this is a radicalizing experience for everyone in Minneapolis. People who were sitting on their phones, not paying attention to anything going on until exactly right now. Yeah, as dumb as that was, they won't make that mistake again.
But also, yeah. At the same time, like it's frustrating, but it's also like, yeah, welcome to the revolution. Like, welcome. No, like, I 100%. Want you all. I want everyone to be radicalized. Oh, yeah, I don't want a purity test of like, where did you know about what was like about Israel being awful 10 years ago? It's like, oh, you care now?
No, okay. I don't want to say. I don't want to even pretend that I'm saying that. Like, I want you in my camp, but I am like, you can get side-eyed. Listen, you can get side-eyed. You can get side-eyed. That's what's going to happen.
I do think, too, it's like, my thing is that they only care when it affects them, and then they're going to stop caring. They aren't going to be radicalized by this. They're just going to be upset while it affects them, or affects people that they know, or that look like them, and then they're going to go back to not caring. It's like, it's classic Democrats, because it's like, when did these detention centers... when were they built? Like, yeah, exactly. Like that. Like Democrats are also responsible for this. But they do it in a politer fashion, so people don't really care. And that's what liberals want to go back to. And that's better. It's better than this, but it's not good.
Yeah. And I do think there's a big difference between someone who now posts differently on Reddit versus someone who does what Diego said, goes and volunteers, makes it a part of their life. I feel like that is such a life-changing experience that you are going to be a different person after that. Versus, obviously the people who finally left r/conservative because they got banned because they said, no, they clearly disarmed him. He was a disarmed man and they shot him, and then they got banned after being a 20-year flared user and r/conservative and now they just go to r/politics. Yeah, they're not going to care once it stops affecting them. But there's a lot of people who will be radicalized in a meaningful way.
Yeah, and I guess that's why. I think I was having trouble articulating that, because it's like you're standing up now. You're seeing the injustice now, but injustices aren't going to end after ICE is gone. Are you going to continue to care, or are you just going to wave it away like you always have? I think is my hang up.
Yeah, and I do think Democrats just need to jump on this. They need to see this momentum, and they need to say, we need to take a strong stance, actually, and do something, not just be like,
which means it's
get out of here.
Hold on, no, you guys don't. I'm gonna read what Tim Walz posted on X on January 24th. Okay, you're gonna get this a real doozy right here. I just spoke with the White House after another horrific shooting by federal agents this morning. Minnesota has had it. With a period, so I don't know why I gave it so much emphasis. You put a period.
Minnesota has had it.
This is sickening.
Yeah, we're good.
The president must end this operation. Pull the thousands of violent, untrained officers out of Minnesota. Period. Now. Period. End quotation. Hey, dude. Holy fuck! You got me shivering in my britches, bro.
Chuck Schumer nutted when he read that.
Yo, yeah. He's like, he's putting the fist down.
Yeah,
you know what, Tim, wear your glasses down on your nose, and you'll be just like me.
It's good. Like it's a good statement. It just needs action. You can't just be like, and you get out of here, please.
Yeah, and even to for the briefest moment, glaze Tim Walz for the slightest moment to say that there's a slightest bit of evidence of them moving slightly to the left from the right position they always speak from, is that he has called it lies. He has called it state execution. He has used the correct language in his sternly worded letters, and language does matters. As we've
Democrats
said,
will. Yeah, I agree.
Because lots of people wouldn't do that.
But unfortunately, to immediately heel turn on glazing walls, all he's actually done is deploy the National Guard and the State Patrol to brutalize his citizens who are upset about being murdered, to literally tone police them with batons.
We said this last episode. It would be such a like the police could have such good PR from this if they defended citizens and arrested ICE officers and just did anything to protect the citizens. Everyone would be like, thin blue line.
I was gonna say, imagine a thin blue line right there. I have a big space for it in my background, dude. Big thin blue line. Let's go back to blue, baby. Hey, I'll go work for a police union. I don't give a fuck. Mm-hmm. No, listen, it's so stupid. They have like right now they could be LeBron. The cops, the Democratic Party could go on a LeBron James run right now, but they won't because they're pussies. That's the problem. Yeah. If they were speaking out against, dude, if they were speaking out against ICE and like just doing shit like Zoran was doing, oh my god, buckets all day, dude. It's ridiculous. Yeah. It's just bad politics, which is stupid. That's all Democrats do is bad politics because. Yeah. You have the biggest opportunity. They're feeding it to you. Trump is giving you 2028. Like, yeah,
on a platter. As an election.
Gavin Newsom is on Ben Shapiro though, so
like AOC was.
Sorry, go ahead.
Okay, AOC was called a radical for saying that these detention centers were concentration camps and for saying abolish ICE. That should be the norm now, and I do think that like history has absolved her. You know, like. Not that I ever disagreed with those statements, but just that, like, I think she was seen as, like, kooky, doesn't belong in the Democrat Party for that, and now that's what every Democrat should be saying. It's crazy that more people haven't come out and said that.
The essence of being a leftist is being right too soon, right when it's not convenient, right when it doesn't sound as nice. And now, I completely agree. That abolish ICE is now the moderate position. The leftist is convict ICE agents. That's now the radical position.
Mm-hmm.
I'm past convict.
Abolish ICE. Yeah, abolish is it's fair. Abolish is the should be the centrist position. Is it going to be? I don't trust the Democratic Party as a whole for a second, but I would love for that to happen.
Have you guys?
What was the other?
Oh, sorry. No, I was about to go into like something much lighter, just to end on. Something lighter.
I sent you a clip, Diego, of like from yesterday.
I just saw that.
Yeah, I don't know if we want to show that on stream of what's instead happening. What Tim Walz is saying, what he's saying, and then what he's actually doing.
I don't think I need to show it. They're sending in.
They're sending in the State Patrol to just beat people up, and it's just like, huh? It's such an easy slam dunk. Literally, just like in your yellow, they're all wearing bright yellow vests to distinguish them from the gravy seals, and you could literally just be following them around and demonstrating that you're there to ensure the laws are enforced. Like even if it is in a like bootlicker light way, where like you're still not really stopping them from doing things. If that's what they were doing, but instead they're just marching through the city, attacking random protesters, basically doing the same
Which
thing
is
as
cool.
ICE. Like, okay,
yeah.
I guess I'm glad you're not shooting anyone. We've just gone back to batons. This is how the Overton window is moved, where I still view these people slightly higher because they only are using batons to beat up people.
Yeah,
thank you, Tim Walz, my goat.
It's crazy, Adam.
It's crazy that he didn't win.
No, pure goat status. Frankly,
on a slightly this is like a big deal worldwide, but like not so heavy as like citizens executed in the street, but like what happened at Davos is really interesting from a like where's the world gonna go perspective. So like headlines, I guess, from this is that Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney made a statement to say that basically was a stance against the states in the most that I've ever seen a Canadian official ever make a statement against the US, and he said some quiet parts out loud, which I'm, honestly, I don't agree with Carney's internal politics. I did not vote for him. I don't really stand by him, but what he said on that world stage was very good. He called out American imperialism and American hegemony and said that Canadians went along with it because it benefited them, and that America has never been held accountable in the same way that they try to hold other countries accountable. Thought it was interesting, and then Trump replied being like, Canada only exists because we let them, basically. Which is interesting.
A funny take, given the war track record. Not that isn't terrifying, but also like, to be fair, Trump now is the only person even competing with Canada in White House is destroyed.
Well, okay, here's what's happening. So I just actually put together a theory. So do you guys remember RFK's brainworm? You know, his brain was eaten by a portion of his brain was eaten by a worm.
Yeah.
Do you remember the story? Okay.
I'm good friends with the worm, actually.
Okay, good. Well, you might know that actually he's been transferred to Trump's brain. So it started, consuming parts and growing more and more militaristic, and it's now taken over his entire fucking brain. So,
but
what's up?
Oh yeah, it's just all of this is insane from a world perspective. I believe the worm has gotten him because he has. Oh, what the fuck is
anyone says anything? Maduro dances, he gets taken. Carney says some real shit, he's gonna get taken. Who else are we taking? Say something.
The Greenland stuff, like we'll see what the reason was, but like it's being like journalists are like debating whether he just kind of like got excited about it. And that's it. Like he just decided, he was just like, that's because like from a military perspective, the U.S. could have a really large presence in Greenland. Like they could have as much control as they want without destroying NATO. But like he just seems to have like really want to own Greenland. Like it's crazy.
It's like
and then he made this like board of peace. If y'all have seen this, and Netanyahu has joined it,
of course. I mean, he's
the number one peacekeeper.
And part of this is
he named a missile after it.
They are literally looking. So, Jared Kushner, who is married to Ivanka Trump, gave a presentation and on what like their plan is for Palestine with this. A
bunch of AI generated images, I imagine.
And they're literally talking about like selling the Gaza Strip like coastline to the highest bidder. Like further gentrifying Palestine. It is absolutely insane.
Just pretend they own it.
Yeah. He's also interestingly enough from a Canadian politics standpoint is he had put out an invitation to Canada to join this for $1 billion. They could join the Board of Peace gentrification project. And it would have been actually a really good test of Carney to see if he was gonna like, you know, kind of like walk the walk, if you will. Because he said a lot of stuff against Trump, which is a big deal for a Canadian Prime Minister. First ever. Trudeau could never.
Yeah.
Polyev could never. But he rescinded the offer. He said, you're not invited. In a Truth Social post. He wrote it like a letter and then posted it on Truth Social.
That's awesome.
High school presidency. Yeah. It's absolutely insane that this is their goat. This is the guy they take seriously. This is the guy that they have AI generate buff body images of.
So, yeah, like global politics is going to look really interesting moving forward if Trump continues to like antagonize NATO, because you even used go on.
I think my favorite thing about the Board of Peace is, from my understanding, like there's a video you can watch of the members, and it's just the most like nothing countries you've ever heard of that no one has ever heard for, and definitely not an average conservative has ever heard of. They couldn't name every state, but
no, they love Lithuania.
But literally half of them aren't even allowed into the country under Trump's own immigration and laws about what countries are denied entry. Literally half of them aren't even allowed in the country. But hey, they paid the $1 billion.
I bet Indonesia was on there because we fucking own Indonesia. And it's just
yeah.
Basically,
yeah, coalition of the middle. Go Mark Carney. That's my goat. I genuinely was transported by that because you understand, he is a liberal. It's the Liberal Party of Canada, and their politics I'd call very Democrat, and these days even further to right than they were before, much like the Democrats. So to see him go up there and take a stand like that was insane to me, because I always pictured him as the person who will kowtow the line for global capital. But to say that and to be like transparent and honest about how Canada had benefited from the past is just insane to hear from a world leader, because like they don't do that. It's dangerously close to admitting some kind of fault, that like, hey, maybe something was weird about that.
No,
maybe that wasn't cool.
It's admitting a fault, I think.
I think it helps that he was not prime minister at the time of admitting that.
Right. Trudeau could never.
Like, yeah. But it's interesting. He says that like the world order is like this is not a transition. This is a rupture, and like it's never going to be same again. And like I don't know, this might be the rise of China, like more than it already is. Like they might be the global superpower.
W China.
Chinese century.
Absolutely, and
and I'm in a very Chinese time of my life, so. But
like that's what happens, like if you antagonize the entire world, basically.
Well,
and
it's
like
just idiotic.
This
let
is
a bunch
not
of toddlers run your country.
Yeah, like this is not the first time in this presidency, like this term, that Trump has like threatened Canadian sovereignty. And
we had a good 270. Let's just call it.
Like it's actually crazy. Like it's I didn't see this coming. I think explaining this to somebody like my parents who like grew up during the Cold War, and just like our alliance with the States has been so strong, and like NATO countries, it's like, you know, like you would like we, it feels like we all exist together, and like you could never turn on each other. But like Trump is just like a toddler throwing a tantrum. Like you never know who he's gonna go after. Like he said to the Danish, I don't know if it's president or prime minister, but that like because he didn't get the Nobel Peace Prize, that he doesn't have to do peace anymore.
To be clear, I don't even think didn't he send that? Okay, so he sent that to Denmark, who aren't even the country where the Peace Prize is located. Isn't that that's Norway? That's where the Peace Prize comes from. And also
who gives a shit? We have to wrap up soon. Who gives a shit?
And also the government doesn't give the Peace Prize. He's just wrong in like 4 different ways.
It's like a committee or whatever.
But he was literally like, I'm gonna attack Greenland because I feel like it, and because I didn't get the prize I wanted, even though Machado tried to give it to him.
Yeah. Also, you know, Trump, biggest loser of the century. The only bigger loser is her. Because like what?
Yeah, embarrassment,
bro. What?
Well,
it's crazy to watch someone who globally broadcasts how much of a fraudster they are, and then watch someone fall for that.
I don't know if you could tell I'm trying to end this, so shut up. On a lighter note, did you guys see Zoran Mamdani memes where they're like, have you seen this? He's trying to instill this in school, and it's like Tekken frame data. And then they're like,
oh yeah, I've seen one where like he's making everyone has to rewatch.
Yeah,
everyone has to rewatch Steven Universe.
Yeah, it's super shit like that. I've been laughing at those. They're really funny.
Those.
Yeah,
I've seen
those. But I just saw one that says, should he teach Tekken frame data in school? Yes, I agree.
Yes.
Okay. I think we have been the basement leftist. Yeah,
I really wish we didn't. I pressed record on that part. I think we didn't encapture quite the rage and the poetry that we were kind of spitting during then. I'm not even kidding, dude. That shit was fire. It's kind of sad.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely feel like the best stuff I said were in that segment.
Yeah, me too.
I think more of it was captured than you think, Mitchell.
Yeah, you guys still had good moments. But,
thank you.
I feel like it obliterated.
No, you did good. What are you talking about? I think you did really well. No, I think we did. I think we all did well. Okay. Yeah. Well, we have been the basement leftist.
We love you.
I just say
Drive safe.
Drive safe.
Do what you want. Drive crazy, drunk, whatever.